to Public House, and to those who are watching online via Bitpinas live stream, welcome to the stream. My name is Celine. I'm the General Manager here at Draper Startup House. Our mission is to enable 1 million entrepreneurs by 2030. So hopefully, if you're a startup, need support, you can come over and talk to us. So you can visit us, our website, draperstartuphouse.ph. And tonight we have a very interesting event. Our monthly Web3 community meetup, BBB, as we love to call it, in short for Bitcoin Beer and Bitstories. And this is an event that we co-present and co-organize with our great partner, Bitpinas. So tonight, we will be starting the evening with live news updates from Bitpinas. And we have a special guest to cover the special news. And then we will be having a Web3 pitch care of Tambay NFT Collection. Woo! And then we will have our panel discussion. It's the season for events, again, major events. And so we have speakers from 3 of the biggest upcoming Web3 events. And we'll get to know them later on and hear about what's in store in the next few months. So, yeah. So let's start. And can I invite on stage Mr. Michael Mislos from Bitpinas.
So hello everyone and good evening and welcome to Bitcoin Beer and Bitstories, and once again thank you to Draper for having us tonight. So my name is Michael and I'm the editor-in-chief of Bitpinas, and hello dun sa ating viewers online. And since 2017 we have been covering crypto and blockchain here in the Philippines. And I'm also the host of the weekly Bitpinas webcast, where we interview people who move the crypto industry forward. And we are partner of Draper for this particular event. So for tonight, we are going to have a bit of crypto news for to wrap up what happened in August. And joining me today is Patrick Lau, the director of Meetup.
Hi guys. Ano?
Oh. Okay. So Pat, when we started the August for crypto and Web3, the sentiment was like this: the meme that the Bitcoin or the crypto market is going down. But what happened yesterday is that it actually went up. And can you see this? So and then the next one. So one of the biggest news that happened is actually yesterday about Grayscale, which means the court battle against the US SEC regulator, which now must review the Bitcoin ETF application. So just covering the news is that in a significant development in our industry, the US Court of Appeals actually granted Grayscale the petition for review against the SEC. So Grayscale had previously filed a lawsuit against the US SEC because the SEC prevented Grayscale from converting their GBTC into exchange traded fund. That is the news. Now, Pat, maybe you can just share what is an ETF and why is this very significant?
Yeah, so very quickly lang, thanks for the news, Mike. I think this is a very positive and huge news for the crypto industry in general. Not only in the US but also globally. Why? Kasi ang exchange traded fund, I mean, ETF is an exchange traded fund, and it's very significant because one of the most widely held investment instruments globally, not only by retail investors but also by institutional investors. And bakit siya importante? Kasi like, I think, when I think about exchange-traded funds, I think of three things lang. So an ETF is like a share of stock that can be traded publicly in an exchange. And also, may mechanism siya whereby an exchange-traded fund can easily redeem of its shares and also create its own new shares so that it can trade close to its net asset value. Basically, which means ano man yung halaga ng underlying asset nila. So, ito importante. Right now kasi Grayscale has been, for the longest time, it's the most established asset manager in crypto space. Billions yung money na yun na naka-invest sa GBTC. At ang problema dito is GBTC hindi kadali or imposible mag-team ng shares nila ng new shares because kailangan siguro malaki yung investment minimum, kailangan accredited investor ka. And because of this limitation, pag napapansin nyo, for the longest time in its history, si Grayscale GBTC, it's always been trading at either discount or at a premium to its net asset value. So bakit importante? Because Grayscale GBTC was created first as a trust, but I think yung ultimate end goal talaga nila ever since before was to convert to an ETF. And once they do that, it becomes now, a very much easier place for all of these large institutional investors like pension funds, sovereign wealth funds to invest in Bitcoin with better liquidity, and also they're also comforted by the fact that it will always track the real net asset value of Bitcoin underlying it.
Okay, so parang you were mentioning that this ETF basically allows institutional investors, family offices to invest finally into Bitcoin. And why do they not want to actually trade on, the existing centralized exchanges that we have right now? Why do they need the ETF instead of going to the crypto exchanges that is existing right now?
Yeah, so I think right now, a few, hedge funds and, funds that are more adventurous are already have some of their investments in these crypto exchanges. But there are several limitations then by getting into the whole space through these crypto exchanges. So one is the whole concept of centralization kasi dahil yung money mo nakapark dito sa centralized exchange, you would therefore have to assume that you would trust that centralized exchange that it wouldn't misappropriate your funds, di ba? Then yung second option naman for all of these investors is to the decentralized route. So non-custodial. Problema dito naman is all of these investors really custodize large amounts of capital. So mahirapan sila. A big part of their problem is custody and how do you safeguard crypto kasi not your keys, not your coin. So ang significance nito, pag may ETF ka na, doon na lang sila mag-invest kasi yung ETF will already take care of all of those concerns for them, the centralization and the custody part.
So the ETF allows them to invest safely, at least in their own comfortable way, no? And siguro the last part here is that we know that there are some US stocks, I believe, and I guess in other countries then, that is currently para siyang quasi ETF, no? Like the stocks of MicroStrategy, which holds Bitcoin in their treasury, and even Coinbase, I think. What will happen to them once ETFs get approved?
I think so for the longest time, syempre, iniisip din ng mga tao when they invest. If they want exposure in Bitcoin, minsan nag-invest sila sa MicroStrategy kasi parang medyo kwasay nga ETF kasi yung laman niya puro Bitcoin na lang, right? Ang kagandahan dito, if there's an ETF now, it's really now a pure play, really pure product, really made for people who just want pure Bitcoin exposure. If you're buying MicroStrategy, you're subject to the whims of, different majority shareholders by Michael Saylor. Then baka minsan, baka matopak si Michael Saylor, ibahin niya yung strategy niya bigla, which you cannot control. So at least ito, may clear investment product na. Na if you have Bitcoin lang, yun na yun.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Now we move to the next news. So this is about PayPal launching Pi USD. Is that correct? Or PayPal USD.
Yeah.
And the news is that, global payments PayPal is now catering to the crypto market with this US dollar peg stablecoin. And this was first reported by Bloomberg. And this PayPal USD is backed by, US dollar deposits, treasuries, and similar cash equivalents. So with Paxos, by the way, which was also the issuer of the Binance USD, di ba?
Correct.
My question here is, can you just give us like, I want to know how significant is this? If you can give like a brief background of how big PayPal is, and that's why market react very positively into this news.
Yeah, sure. So super quickly lang, syempre, we all know PayPal. So it's one of the biggest platforms for payments, not just in the US but also globally. Tapos recently, diba, pumasok sila sa crypto. They also offer crypto purchasing and selling din, diba? But I think sobrang significant to because now they've announced a single stable coin that can only be that is the only sole stablecoin that is supported on their platform. And if pag nagre-review lang tayo, Mike, no, so crypto sobrang volatile. That's why importante magkaroon ng stablecoin, di ba? And that's why nagkakaroon tayo ng USDT, USDC. Now si PayPal, bakit niya, ang big question dito, bakit hindi na lang niya sinupport si USDT or USDC? Ba't pa siya gumawa ng sarili niya? I think, and one of the reason is yung line na sinabi mo, di ba? Like, it's backed by cash and cash equivalents. Because right now, because of the macro environment, medyo mataas na yung yield sa mga safe instruments. Magandang negosyo din. To be honest, magandang negosyo rin ang maging stablecoin issuer. Kasi pag nag-issue ka ng stablecoin, di ba, kinakustodize mo yung fiat money ng mga investor, binibigyan mo sila ng digital version, but then now you're actually free to do whatever you want with the fiat. Obviously not whatever you want, but syempre you would probably just park it somewhere in a safe, maybe government security back. So dahil mataas ang yield ngayon, magandang negosyo siya, di ba? Like even for if you look at the profits of USDT Tether, karamihan ng profits sila, ano lang yun yield on their investments underlying the fiat backing the stablecoin.
Alam mo, Pat, one of the things that I really like about use case for stablecoin, yung pinaka gusto kong use case niya is that if I cannot access dollars, no, I mean, not anyone can access dollars immediately, di ba? Kahit dito sa Pilipinas. But with USDT, you can access it freely. So para siyang quasi-US dollar din that you have. And I think that's an important use case then for crypto. And I think it's one of the most important use case of crypto, like giving us access to these particular things when otherwise we cannot have access before. So my last question here is not mentioning din about PayPal, but bakit kaya walang ibang sikat na stablecoin na parang meron, di ba? May I guess merong euro stablecoin or something. Pero hindi sila hindi sila masyadong ginagamit or bakit kaya? Kasi I guess that it reflects yung yung the current forex, or ganun ba siya or
Tingin ko, may truth sa sinabi mo. So, two things siguro. First, time to market and also it's a reflection of yung dominance ng US sa global currency, right? So, time to market, sila yung pinakanauna di ba? Like, nung 2017, nung nandito ako, USDT na yung pinag-uusapan. So, medyo may nasanay na yung mga tao siguro. Number two, because the US has dominated so much, stable rin siya, then there is no practical need for another stable coin. Kasi ang gagawin lang ng tao, kunwari, Filipino ako, babato ako magre-remit ako to my relative sa US, ang gagawin ko lang, bibili ako ng USDC, babato ko sa kanya, bebenta niya yon to whatever exchange locations they have. And that really satisfies the main need, di ba? You just need a stable store value. So yun, I think pag nagkaroon ng mga Euro or maybe Philippines, that's gonna be good, but also at the same time, mahirap magkaroon ng kumuha ng market share for the whole stablecoin market.
All right, thank you, Pat. So I don't think we have much of this time, pero if we can go to the second slide. So and then the next slide. So all of those news can be found on Bitpinas. So these are some of the local news that I got from our articles at Bitpinas. So we have ito.
Okay, thank you.
Kaya dito kayo. But what do you think of these things that are happening? So siguro we can focus na lang on itong kay Luis, di ba, which is if you are watching. But I guess about we have heard a lot of upper management, how do you call it? Like transfer ba siya or
Transfer, yeah,
or
transition,
like
movement,
shake up,
shake up, yeah.
upper management shake up to the companies, to the crypto companies, to the leading crypto companies. So what do you think of this situation? Na parang from what I gather, kasi parang these are people who are already known and now they are moving into fintech, I guess, or going back. Or what do you think of this?
Sobrang interesting siya. Actually, one of the first message tinanong ko nga sa'yo nung narinig ko na umalis na si Luis is sana pupunta si Luis, di ba? If you remember correctly. So I think it's just a natural parang cadence of the bull and bear market, di ba? So pag bull, ang kagandahan doon, so many new entrants coming into the space. Ang wild niya, di ba? And then everyone is passionate building, everyone's earning money. Pagdating sa bear, yung mga tourists, umaalis na. Pero yung mga true builders and believers, nagsistay. Tapos, in extension, because nagstay sila, because matagal na sila, mas gumaling na siguro yung skills nila, nag-upskill na sila. And at the same time, wala masyadong competition. Siyempre, umalis sa lahat ng tao. They also benefit from, I guess, having more leverage with their potential employers. So ngayon, I think in Luis's case, it's just a reflection of, it's just maybe it's time to move on to another vertical. I mean, admittedly, play to earn has not been very hot, so hot right now. So, I mean, natural lang na people would move on to the next thing in their career. So, personally, I'm very happy for Luis and wish him luck with the next career.
Yes, no, enjoy now with concept PH and then Cat, and then I guess may internal din sa inyo. But I think what is important here I need to give is that it gives also opportunity to middle management and to new people to move to the top of these particular companies. No? So,
Exactly.
ayun, so that's a wrap for our crypto news. So I hope we can have feedback on this in the next BBB. So thank you so much. And now we go to the Web3 pitch. Celine?
Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you thanks for the latest crypto news, care of Bitpinas, and for the special participation of Pat. And now we move on to our next portion of our program. We now have our Web3 pitch. And I would like to now call on stage Lexa from Tambay NFT Collection. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much, Ma'am Celine. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the invitation in presenting our NFT collection, Tambay. And the collection's essence is about celebrating the colorful culture of Filipinos. I am Trekta, I am the project manager of Tambay, content creator, and a PM. So before anything else, I would like to mention these three challenges that are currently experienced by the digital arts realm. We have the copyright and the intellectual property issues, digital art preservation and authenticity, and then the monetization and sustainability. And let's move forward. So with these challenges in the NFT space, with these challenges in the digital art realm, NFT, the power of NFT comes in the picture. So next slide. All right. So these are just some of the revolutionizing things that an NFT can do in the digital art realm. We have number one, empowering artists and artisans. So through ownership verification, we're able to protect our artists. The next one. Copyright and intellectual property. So we're able also to, make sure that everything is recorded in the blockchain permanently. And there is also digital preservation. We're able to trace transactions. We're able to determine the original creators of this work art. So there's, we can totally protect our artists. And then next. So this is just an example of a trading activity in Mint2 from 500 to 2,500.
Okay, next. Right. Another one is the preservation and documentation. So through NFTs, we're able to provide as well income streams to our artists and to our cultural institutions. And there have been a lot of collaborations happening among the traditional and the digital artists around. Then cultural revitalization, through digitalizing traditional arts, we're able also to widen our audience, not just in the very small forums or bidding events. We're able to widen our audience, even the young ones, even the students can now access the NFTs or these artworks. Yeah. The next one is we have education awareness, digital exhibitions, galleries. There's a lot of events that are happening around NFT arts currently, and there are also interactive learning experiences, especially in the metaverse, where they can do the galleries of the NFT arts. And then inclusion representation, diverse representation of our arts. We're able also to showcase our artworks in the global market, even if the concepts are very local. And yeah, lastly, I think the digital integration or the hybrid art form. I don't know if you're familiar with the phygital art, the physical and the digital art first. We're also doing that in our NFT collection at the moment. So now let's talk about the different benefits as an NFT holder of Tambay. So these are just the common benefits. I know you've heard this already in other projects. So the first one, you can use those NFTs as your PFPs, as your bragging rights, and we can also guarantee that there is a vibrant community waiting for you if you are a holder of our Tambay collection. And yeah, we added some of these benefits as well, like the NFT airdrop. Since we are under Min2, we're also going to give NFT airdrops to our holders, even if we're going to give them NFT airdrops from the other projects that Min2 launches in its platform. And then our events are access. We're also giving out tickets to our holders if they want to join events like this one. And then whitelist spots, partner freebies. We're collaborating with the Web3 projects. And most of these projects, they give out free tokens, free NFTs, free webinars, and so on. Merch discounts, I'm going to show you also later on some of our initial merch designs. And then brands vouchers, we also have those. So these are just some of our NFT designs, inspired merch. Yeah. So I'm wearing the hat at the moment. Yeah, those are very common, but what we're really, really very proud of as an NFT collections, we're celebrating the colorful culture of the Filipinos. The collection talks about these core essences like the life hacks of Pinoy, yung Pinoy diskarte, and then the bayanihan or community solidarity and Pinoy resilience. Well, most people would think that we're trying to romanticize poverty, but we're not trying to do that. We're just reminding everyone that through bayanihan, through resiliency, through the right character, we're able to get by in life. And then, yeah, these are just sample of our NFTs. We have here the jeepney driver, tricycle driver, dirty ice cream, and so on. And our main characters, we have here Marites, mga baklang parlorista, bonak, and so on. So I don't know if they seem very familiar to you, but growing up, I've experienced I've met people like these people in our main characters. And also, we're trying to debunk some NFT myths, like Pinoy projects being rug pull. So there's a negative notion when it comes to Pinoy devs, like mga rug pull or scam or something. So we want to make a difference in the space. And then NFTs are not necessarily expensive. Most people will think that they're expensive, but that's for as low as 200 pesos or 250 pesos, you can now buy our NFTs. And value over time and demand. We're also trying to educate our community that we're not going to be an instant millionaire by just holding our NFTs, because just like real estate properties, it takes time, right, and demand for something to increase in value. So yeah. And yeah, we're building our community at the moment, and we're trying to introduce our NFT characters as animations, funny animated videos or comics, because we want them to just meet them that way. And we're also trying to hit the Web2. We're trying to hit their interest as well. So far, we're able to increase in just 2 weeks our TikTok. We're almost 40,000 now followers with over 3 million views. And it's a very big thing for us in just 2 weeks. And What else? Yeah, it's a very big milestone for us already. And we're trying to introduce them the characters as, just the fun animated ones without realizing that they're actually NFTs. And if these people are interested enough to learn more about our characters, and that's it, they'll just discover later on that they're actually NFTs without knowing that they are. So next one. Yeah, these are just some of our funny posts. So we have here comics, and we try to engage our communities as well. So pasukan na, back to school, inuman. And then, yeah. So these are just some of our main videos on TikTok. You can visit our TikTok account. And we also have, last night, we launched our Balitang Bayan. It's Balitaan. In the Tambayan, we also have volunteers in the community. It's a very vibrant community. We had raffles as well. A lot of things going on in our community. It's like, I don't know how many weeks. Yeah, we have Purok Kagawad, we have Purok Papanakit, Purok Pinaligaya, and Purok Padayon there. Everyone who is working there are volunteers. So last June 13, we also launched our OG NFT. It was sold out, 505 of them. And yeah, under Mint 2. So far, we're growing in number and in engagement. And these are our team. We also onboarded Yuki5, if you're familiar with this popular animator, the Philippines. He's one of our advisors as well. And we're going to have this concept, Yuki5 crossovers to Tambay. And yeah, that's our QR code if you want to know more about Tambay. All right, let's give a round of applause to Chefcha. We are now opening the floor for some questions.
Hello, I'm RC. So as we all know, nasa bear market tayo, di ba? Nasa winter market. So na-mention nyo kanina yung milestones nyo, yung TikTok nyo, 3.5 million followers, tapos 40,000 followers sa Twitter, at 3.5 million views, and everything. What's your secret? How do you keep the community engaged? How do you gain these followers, these views? What's your secret para malaman din ng ibang nagbabalak na launch in a bear market ng kanilang NFT collection?
Ayoko sanang sabihin pero sige. Okay, here's our secret. People join communities. They stick in communities for 3 reasons. Number 1, earning. The second one is education. The third one is entertainment. And that's why people love social media, because of entertainment. And that's what we can offer in the community. We have entertainment there, memes, comics, even giveaways. We have mga talentadong tambay, mga ganung mga segments. So you just really have to be creative. You just really have to make sure that they are really having fun in your community, and that's it. They will just love you. Even our merch, medyo mga kwela siya. We have tambay cup, may tanod cup. Basta yung mga nakita nyo kanina, they're just initial designs, but we have more upcoming, and we want everything to be humorous as possible, because as a Filipino, we are people who can turn any tragic events into something humorous, diba? And we love humor.
Yeah. Any other questions from the floor? None? All right. If not, thank you very much, Raksha. And guys, if you haven't bought your NFTs yet, it's so affordable. Go ahead and scan the QR code and then purchase your Tambay NFT collection now. Okay, go take a picture. Yeah. I can personally say their community is definitely vibrant. There's a lot of banter in the community, and of course, very creative engagement online. So yeah, okay. So now we are now heading to our main event for the evening. We are now going to have our panel discussion on the upcoming Web3 events, blockchain events here in Manila. So let me now call back our moderator here on stage, Mr. Mike Mislos.
Ayun, so welcome back to me. And I would like to call on stage our, ano yung next? Can we go to the next slide? So can we invite on the stage Mr. Eman Gabalan, representing Philippine Fashion Week, Mr. P. Tejada, Web3 Game Summit, and Ms. Bea Gillian Lana for Web3PH Summit. Okay, pa siya sa ano, I mean yung ganitong pwesto. Alright. So magandang gabi and welcome to Bitcoin Beer and Bitstories and thank you for being here discussing looking forward your guide to major blockchain events. So based on even before Web3, even before we have blockchain crypto as right now, talagang it is during Q4 when ang daming events. No? We have, of course, yung Philippine Startup Week. So, I guess, nandun lahat yung budget no? ng mga companies no? Itong Q4 and sobrang dami ng events even outside Web3 and even outside the Philippines. No? So, I guess we can just start with an introduction, like who you are and what do you do here in Web3. We can start with Ms. Baya.
So yeah, good evening everyone. I am Bea Liana, but I'm more known as Bea B or B in the Web3 space. So actually I just recently graduated and I've been working for like almost 2 years already in the space. And actually how I started was I tried pushing for women empowerment in the space because it was a different experience for me during the bull market. So yeah, later on I found myself like moderating for different projects, and then later on, heading Web3PH now, the community growth department, and other than that, I'm also the community and operations manager for Boring Security. So I guess that could be my background right now in Web3.
Thank you, Bea and Emma.
So, uh, I'm wearing a lot of hats right now, but basically what I'm focusing on is our company called VTI. We're building Pitaka and the Tetrix network. No, so Pitaka is a self-custodial wallet, and we recently have closed a lot of deals. And we're going to slowly open up and showcase, what we're building in the past few months to everyone. That's basically one of my hats, and the other one is, of course, being part of the newly formed Blockchain Council. So I urge everybody, if you are into Web3 and want to support the initiatives, you can at least be part of it. It's a good community to start, aside from those that we have, and be part of, I would say, bringing everything that we love to our regulators and the people who are going to help expand pa yung ginagawa natin. But basically those two hats, and of course for the events we're also helping. I'm not saying doing it, but really just helping, supporting projects and events altogether.
Yeah, it's so hard to top now. So yeah, hey guys, good evening. I'm Fee. I'm from YG Philippinas. So just a quick background. I'm one of the pioneering members of Access Alerts PH. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Now we rebranded to YG Alerts. We were able to grow the page in just 6 months for almost 1 million. And now it got acquired by YG. So I'm now officially part as well of YG Filipinas since 2022. And I'm now heading the HR and also BizDev for YG Filipinas. And then what we do at YG Philippines is really more on Web3 education with our product Web3 Metaversity. And then at the same time, we're really focusing on community activations together with our game partners and also brands that we're working with. For example, G Crypto, with a product that just has been recently launched, and also with working with Globe as well, for their Web3 ventures. So yeah, it's something we're doing. We're excited to talk about the upcoming event in November, the YG Web3 Game Summit as well later in a bit tonight. Yep.
All right. So my first question to you, by the way, thank you, for that introduction. And we are at an interesting time in crypto and Web3 market. No, it is the bear market. And lagi kong sinasabi, if there's any industry that really gets hammered down by a bear cycle, it's really the companies that we have here are this particular industry, crypto, Web3, blockchain industry. So you guys have organized events last year, same events, and my question here is, how do you see it? Parang, what is the difference, I guess, on how you are organizing this event now versus how you organized the events last year in terms of, you know, I guess, sponsorship, na, and then yung, shall I say, yung reception ba from the people that you are talking to that you are going to do this event. We'll start with
So yeah, when it comes to the type, the difference between from last year and this year and what we want to do different now, especially when it comes to the sponsors, as you mentioned. Well, actually, last year, kasi we were more on student centered. We were surprised. We had it here at DSH, honestly, and we gathered around 700 people, coming for the summit, and it was more in about intro about Web3, basically. So we were more of like, let's just put it out there, because especially even with my own experience, I didn't know that there were also people like me who are Web3 enthusiasts here in the Philippines. And other than that, it gave me the chance to find these communities as well. So when it comes to the sponsors and all, there were really people who believed in us, which led us to also hosting another one this year. This year, the difference is we want it to revolve around bridging Web 2 to Web 3, bridging the old to the new to future proof the Filipino youth. So this time, we wanted to focus more on, gathering younger generations and then making sure that, they are able to know the different opportunities that this space
The situation in the For me, I think that we want to understand specific to target audiences. And these three events that are happening are really different in a way. As you can see, they have different target audiences, different approach to the event. So for those who are looking for an event that they could join in, they could look at these three and see where they fit. They could join all three. They could join the specific ones. No, but more use cases that are easily adaptable for most Filipinos. In fact, one of the side events or one of the main event that's happening inside PBW is a Michael Cinco event, right? So it's about fashion naman. So this is a big leap from the previous event that happened last year. And these three events or the other events that are going to happen in the future would have these specific personas that they're attacking. And I'd like everybody to maximize on these opportunities to get to know them, to get to touch, get to meet them, get in touch with them, specifically the projects that they want to be doing by themselves or want to be part of, because this is a great opportunity to do that. And in Web3, it's all really about collaboration. So before you collaborate, diba, you have to reach out. You have to be there. You have to be present. And these are all the opportunities that you have locally in the Philippines. So you don't need to go abroad. Yeah.
So just to add na lang with that, I guess more on what I could say is, and what I've learned from, experiencing the bull and the bear, is that you always keep building. You keep building and you always equip yourself with something that you can use, whether you're under in a bear market or whether you're trying to just explore something. So at Web3PH, that's how we want you to perceive when we say we want to help you future-proof your career. So that's how we want to say it when, with all the workshops we're going to offer, with all the talks, debates, and all you have to do is just be present and, be curious and see like, okay, which one am I most interested in? And other than that, honestly, with everything going on, with all the attendees and all, you really think that, hey, I want to learn something AI, because what the trends lately in the blockchain events are more on traditional companies are also trying to penetrate the space. They're trying to see more like, hey, how could I adapt something Web3? Because we're somehow low-key going that direction either way. And I guess some companies are not seeing it yet, but some companies are really trying to find something that they can adopt. A blockchain technology, may it be AI, NFTs, crypto, or what. Like, for example, even ABS, they have their own NFTs already with their Star Magic games, but little or less people know about it. But then these companies that are like big in the game already, they're trying to penetrate the space. So that's the thing that we wanna showcase at Web3PH Summit. That we wanna be the bridge from the old to the new. That these companies, these Web3 companies, they are coming up with something new, something innovative, and we wanna be the ones to help them. That hey, you can partner up with these types of companies and all. So that's how we're gonna be able to say that we can future-proof your career as an individual and as a business as well.
All right, thank you so much, Nabaya, Eman, and P. And one of my key takeaways there is that we're mentioning that there's something for everyone. Whether you're interested in the space or already in the space, there's something for everyone in your upcoming events. Now, I want to talk about event accessibility. So, there might be people who might find your ticket prices expensive, and then there might be some who are from the province, no, and then cannot go, and there are three events, no? And so my question is on event accessibility. How are you making sure that your events is, accessible to your target audience or to the Filipinos? Let's start with Bea.
Okay. So yeah, in my end, honestly, how can I make it accessible? How can Web3PH Summit be accessible given that almost all of the blockchain events honestly are somehow sometimes, higher of the on the higher range or like in the lower range. So, at Web3PH Summit, since I've mentioned that we're targeting these younger generations, students like me, actually, I just graduated, so I'm not a student anymore. But like in the previous year, I really believe that I could join. And honestly, at WebTPH Summit, we don't really target to charge high prices. What we do would basically be trying to find different ways on how we can be able to still ask people to come and make sure that they know that there's no need to see any hindrances that hey, I cannot afford this or what. We're gonna be the ones to provide that. We're gonna be the affordable one. We're gonna try to, because the thing is, if we want to cater to students, and being as students before, we wanna put ourselves in their shoes as well. So we want to introduce the space to them as something, as an opportunity, as a network, or however they may use it well. And yeah, we just want to be really accessible to them as much as possible. And when it comes to the people that are very far away, there are actually attendees from last year really traveled and went to the summit, wholeheartedly. So yeah, I guess with the transportation, it would be kind of hard. But then, yeah, I mean, I think anything is possible as long as there are also sponsors who believe in the project. So yeah.
Thank you, Bea and Emma.
So for me, I think for PBW in general, they have different tiers of tickets, so they could avail depending on their budget, the tiers. And in fact, there are a lot of codes right now. There are early bird rates that is still being offered, and some discounts for communities, so they could maximize on that. Aside from that, there are a lot of side events during this week, no, that they could join. One of which is a run, one of which is Michael Sink, for example, and the others, no. So they could join specific events that they see is appropriate to their budget, and that they see is very practical for them, no? That really hits the mark specifically to what they expect in that specific event. So I think that's us being practical in general. And there's also this event at the end, yung Black Awards. So if you want to like attend that event at the end of the blockchain week, you could also be prioritizing that, no, for example, to get to know the awardees, the people who are really who won awards, and you want to be in contact with them, you can maximize that, and so on and so forth. So it's really about understanding what you need as of this moment. So for those who doesn't understand what they need yet because they're still exploring, they might want to take the lower tiers just to get the feel of, oh, this is what Web3 could offer to me, and find whatever it is that they want, and build on that. Yeah.
Yeah, so for YG Web3 Games Summit, similar to PBW, we have three ticket tiers as well. The cheapest one is actually the export tournament access. So it's actually costing right now at 299 pesos. So I think that's very, affordable naman for a lot of our community members, especially for those who are looking into the next, Web3 games. But at the same time, we're actually very serious about making the event also more inclusive to our community. So we've actually come up with, several activations wherein community can still get to participate and even watch the event, even from the comfort of their home. So for example, we're going to be subsidizing actually 7 regional watch parties across the entire nation. So we're looking at Davao, Cebu, Bicol, and what have you there. And we're going to be subsidizing those communities who are not going to be able to make it here in Manila, and so make a side event there, so at least they still feel that they're still part of the event. So it's something that we're working on here. And also, we're going to be doing a lot of community activations as well. In fact, with our community partnership program, wherein we can invite different communities to be part of the event, and we'll be providing, discounted rates as well for those who are part of those communities, no? So they get to access the event more. And then at the same time, make sure that you guys, parang follow our pages because we're going to be announcing some giveaways as well, especially to our community. Because the heart of our event is really our community, So as much as possible, we want to give more access to them. And those are the things that are going to be that we're going to be doing, for the event, especially starting this September until October. Yeah.
Alright, so from what I think there is may mga free events, and then there are some online then to make sure that it is accessible to the most number of people. So my next question is about ROI. And so how can, I'm not sure kung ano, no, pero syempre companies is a target audience, diba? People who will be exhibiting there. So maybe hindi pa full yung slot nyo. So how can people or how can companies should perceive or yung ROI na makukuha nila in joining your events? So we start naman with me.
Yeah, in terms of the ROI, it actually really varies depending on what's the intention of every project for sponsoring an event, right? So there are projects who are, say, for example, still beta testing, right? So some of the intention is just to really like test out the game IRL, build a core community, gain visibility. So that's actually what the event provides, a lot of those games. I think it's very important, especially for event organizers, to really not, this is just really my personal view, because when we talk about ROI, parang conversion agad siya, right? We talk about these are going to be the numbers of people that are going to be playing your game, when actually in reality that's not going to be happening, right? So I think it's very important for event organizers to really not promise any conversion rate to these games because it's a bear market, right? People are testing the game. Gamers are really exploring like what the games are suited for them. So what we can do, for YG Web3 Game Summit is to really help you build your core community, gain maximum exposure in terms of social media, and also within the community. And then at the same time, like provide you insights on how to further develop your game. So our community is really deeply, knowledgeable enough to really like provide you some insights on how, how we can improve your game, what are the bugs and glitches that there are for your game. So those are the things that we can offer. And again, it's really more on discovery, for a lot of these games. Yeah.
Alright, so parang manage expectations yun when talking to potential sponsor, potential partner. So how about you, Bea? Ano tayo?
Yeah, so in terms of ROI, I believe that like what he said nga, we are under a bear market rather. So we should really manage our expectations as well. And what the Web3PH Summit could bring to the people is, especially to these companies or businesses who will be participating, is that we will bring them consumers, may it be from Web2 or Web3, and possible technologies that they can adapt from Web3 companies that are also going to be in the summit that could also help, alleviate their current products or services and basically immerse them in what the industry can offer to them. For example, the different blockchain technologies, workshops, talks, debates, that are going to help them see that, there are things that we can do more with our current product or service that can help us bring it up to the latest trends. So I think that's the ROI for Web3P.
Alright.
So I don't think I'm the right person to answer that, but just my personal take on it, no. Make it very short.
Would you like another question?
Yeah, it's better if it's
Sige, so more on, I guess ROI din. No? So for people na, for example, a average person going to the event, wanting to see this, wanting to try this, what will be their ROI? So if someone goes to the event, unaffiliated, probably, what will they get from joining events in general? Maybe you can speak na lang on behalf of
So
events.
yeah, in the event general, no, they'll be first and foremost connected to some of the players who are trying to build, or I would say, put their setting in the Philippines. So try to expand their business here locally. They would of course need support from local communities, local projects as well, and of course these does not discount the participants who are going to join. That they could also be part of this. Like for example, if you want to start out, I want to be a community manager, for example, or I want to help out in marketing. you could actually go around the booths and try to also promote the services that you can offer to them, and that could be one of the ROIs for the participants, right? And of course, for the others, it's really subjective. But more to it, there is a reason behind their participation, of course, and most of them are really just to have footing in the Philippines. Kasi alam natin, it's really building time. Eh. So it's a good preparation for most of us to really have the connections ready to prepare and see and connect with the right people that we want to be working with in the future or now in this current situation. So it's really just that revolving around the events, and of course, exposure to what something else, no, things that they haven't really seen happening in the Philippines yet, that they could actually be part of and pioneer even further in, say, their provinces or in their workplaces, right? So that's really the ROI most definitely for most participants. Yeah.
So parang like it's really the network that we build along the way, no? And especially the events could be a perfect opportunity for this kasi even if you build alone and no one knows about it, maybe the events could be a perfect way to let people know. And so yeah, those are actually my questions na. If there are questions from the audience, RC, do you have a question or ano? 2 minutes, sige. So, how do you guys, kasi I assume you're going to do this again next year, no? And next year, meron tayong, Bitcoin halving, and generally very optimistic yung outlook, at least for next year. So, I know hindi pa nagsisimula yung events nyo, but how do you envision, like, how it will happen next year? Siguro, anyone na lang can answer. There's one person amongst you guys.
You want to try it? You go ahead. All right. Right. For me, no, this is my take on this. We'll see that now. We'll let the event run and see what is needed to be fixed or improved. Of course, that's one. Aside from that, of course, this is not the only event that we are running. Specifically for me, no, we're doing some side events, some runs, some demos, and so on. And this is actually, it really changes depending on the time and of course the if it's bear or bullish, right? So for me, it will be changing, right? But the core, I would say, of that event is really going to be the same. It's just that the approach will be different depending on the times. Like for example, maybe next year will be more aggressive, right? Doing bigger events, getting in bigger brands, bigger names. And that would really depend on what's going to happen this year. So I'm really excited to really, I'm going to be participating in all of this, joining all of this, of course, because it's our way of really supporting the industry. And that's what we need right now. So then it's also going to be a learning experience for all the event organizers to really see what really fits for their specific market. And that's going to be, of course, the preparation for next year. Right? So, yeah, I think that's it for me.
And maybe we can have like an event recap by December, no? Dito. What happened, what went wrong, and is there anyone that has a question, RC?
Yeah, so all of for Philippine Blockchain Week, there was a 2021 and a 2022 Philippine Blockchain Week. Oh, no, sorry, 2022 and 2023 Philippine Blockchain Week, right? For Web3PH Summit, there is a 2022 and 2023 Web3PH Summit, right? For YGG Web3 Games, why didn't you continue with the Philippine Web3 Festival that occurred in 2022? Why the change? Why?
Yeah, so that's actually like, good question. So remember that the Philippine Web3 Festival was co-organized by two organizations, right? It was co-organized by YG and Blockchain Space. And then this time we want to do it, on our own. And then at the same time, our focus is really on gaming. And I think, our friends from Blockchain Space have their own focus as well. So in terms of the branding, parang you cannot like no one can own it since again it's being organized co-organized by both parties. And then this time we really like want to stay true to our mission is to really provide like access to different games to our community. That's why we are organizing this YG Web3 Games Summit. Yep. And then I think our founders really brought the Philippines at the global stage. That's setting the momentum for the other founders as well in the Philippines. And we want to continue that by bringing in more VCs who are interested into gaming. Because again, no, parang Web3 gaming really like spurred adoption in the Philippines. And we feel like, even in 2024, that's something that we're going to be still doing. And that's why we're doing this YG Web3 Game Summit and to really set it as an international event and not just like a local big event. Yeah.
I have a question for Philippine Blockchain Week. You mentioned something about use cases, companies with compelling use cases. Are they going to present in Philippine Blockchain Week? I'm just asking because why do I need to go? What will make it worth it? Why do I need to pay thousands of pesos to attend Blockchain Week?
So we have a lot of speakers. That's first and foremost, right? So, but if we're talking about like companies who will be there are companies that are going to be listed inside the website that you can look into. And if you see that it's really, again, it's really your target, then it could be something that you could consider.
In your view, what companies are pretty interesting whose use cases can actually be applied in real life?
So there are groups coming into the event, including a Korean group, and they are promoting infrastructure development for companies, Web2 companies who could use Web3. I think it's best to hear from them. And aside from that, there are a lot of, like, for example, fashion. We have fashion. People into fashion could also see what this event with Michael Cinco happening inside the PBW could also help them in their industry. And more to that, there are other, of course, companies locally and abroad that can also expand, I would say, yung reach I would say for specific persons, you want to expand your network. You want to expand your reach with these specific companies who would help you in your existing businesses. That could be the reason why you would buy and participate in this event. So I couldn't say that this event is better than the others. That's one. Second is I couldn't also say that what you need will be there because again, these are different target markets. It's up to, of course, the participants to check and see if this event is really suited for them and if the pricing for participating and being part of that is really worth it. Okay, so I just want to leave that there because this is actually again going to be going back and forth. No, it's a chicken and egg problem wherein we cannot really tailor fit it to specific persons, but we really generalize it. It's more of like connecting to regulators, connecting to infrastructure projects, building for, say, our government, building, say, for other Web2 companies that you can interact with. And these are not just local companies, but also companies around Asia and, of course, some from the West. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, P. And siguro final na lang, yung event dates pala. Can we get the event dates? May event date na ba kayo si Web3 Summit? Yeah.
Yeah, for Web3PH Summit, so our theme is just reiterating it, that it's bridging the old to the new and to future-proof the Filipino youth. Yeah. So when it comes to the details for events, it would be best to join our social media channels on Telegram and Facebook for more info because we're in our early stage of planning already. So yeah.
So for Philippine Blockchain Week, you can head on to pbw.ph. And aside from that, if I may promote some of the side events, you can join our fun run that's happening on September 17. That's going to be the first one. So this is really for runners. If you want to participate there and get to know what Web3 can do for runners and at the same time do it for a cause, you can do that. In Philippine Blockchain Week, they also have that a Block Awards and be part of. You can also be part of that Block Awards, no? And for Michael Cinco, aside from the main event that's happening there, and there are also side events happening with some of the I would say participants joining the event for PBW. So look at you can head on to pbw.ph and buy your tickets there.
Yeah, so for YG Web3 Games Summit, it's going to be happening from November 18 to 25. So as you can see on the screen, from November 18 to 19, that's going to be the Web3 Hackathon. I think that's going to be the biggest IRL Web3 Hackathon that's going to be happening in the Philippines. We actually partnered with STI College in this one, and we're going to be having their students as well to get to participate. And then from the 21st to 22nd, it's going to be our conference proper. This is going to be at Shangri-La naman. And then for the Expo and tournament, that's going to be on November 23rd to 25th. And this is going to be at Samsung Hall. So these are really going to be fun-filled, week-long event that you guys are going to be expecting. And then you don't have to worry about being tired attending the conference or the hackathon or the expo, because every after event, we're going to be doing happy hours. So expect that there are going to be some drinks and, pass around food that will be provided to the attendees. And then, of course, parang ito yung pinaka-inaabangan ng lahat eh. So we're going to be anticipating around more than 50 community side events that will be organized all throughout BGC. So what we're going to be doing all throughout this week is really own BGC from November 18 to 25. So for those who are looking into sponsorship, you can actually message me on Telegram at HeyFee for community and KOL partnerships, especially for startups who wants to have some sort of visibility and also provide access to your community or to your members. You can actually apply for partnerships at YGV.events and send us your intent to be a community partner. And lastly, for tickets, you can go to YGV.events to get your tickets. So that's actually about it, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much to our panel. And you can read about all this on Bitpinas then. So I'm sure more stories will be delivered our way. No? So
Let's give a round of applause to our panel and to Mike. Wait, picture muna tayo. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our speakers. Oh no. It's okay, just leave it. Thank you to our speakers. Mike, can you join our photo? So please, there's a lot of events happening in the upcoming months. Let's attend all of them. Let's support. Thank you. Okay, one more. Thank you, everybody, and to everyone online. I hope you learned from tonight, and we will see you again next time. And to everyone here at Public House, yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up, and let's enjoy and have some beer.